Hello everyone, my name is Abu Bakr Salim and welcome to my channel. In the last video, we discussed about functions, and in this video, we'll be discussing about how to create a function in a C program. So you can see there is a function in front of you, which is a main function. Now, whenever you have to create a function, you can do that between this hash include stdio dot h and void main. So whichever functions that you want to create, you can create them between between this space. So let's suppose I want to create a function which adds two numbers. Okay. So the first thing that I have to decide is that I have to decide what is the return type of this function. Okay. So let's suppose this function adds two integers, so we have to think that what is going to be the return type. Now return type can either be uh, integer, it could be float, it could be character, it could be double. It means that the data types that we have discussed so far can be the return type. Okay. In addition to that, if a function does not return anything, it means that that function is void, and the return type of such function is going to be void. So right now I am discussing about a function that can return anything. So let's say that this sum function is going to return integer. So I have written int here. Then we have to specify the name. So I am going to name this function addition. Then we have to specify the parameters. Now we want this function to add two numbers. So we have to specify those two numbers. And whenever we have to do it, we have to do it in this way. Since there are two numbers, we have to specify the name of those two numbers. We have to specify the data types of those two numbers, and we have to separate them with a comma. If there are three numbers, for example, there are three numbers, then we will separate all three numbers with comma. Okay. And we have to specify data type with every parameter, every variable. So right now we have a function whose name is addition. It contains two parameters, and its return type is integer. Now we have to find the sum of these two numbers. So what we can do is we can either write return a plus b, or we can do int sum is equal to a plus b, and we can write return sum. Both are fine. You can either return a plus b directly, or you can store the value of a plus b in a new variable and you can return that variable. It will not affect the output of your program, or it will not cause any error in your program. Now you have to remember one thing, that whenever you are returning a value or a variable, that variable data type or that value data type should match the return type of your function. So you can see I am returning sum. The data type of sum is integer, and the return type of my function is also integer. So this should match. Okay. So now we have created the function. Now we learn how can we call this function in our main program. So for that, we can create a program. I am going to write int num1 comma num2. These are the two variables. and we will write the program in the normal way that we used to, like enter a number, scanf, percentage d. So these are the things that we used to do before. So this will not change. The only thing that has changed so far is that we have created a function that we are going to call in the main function. So percentage d and percent num1, and let's copy this and paste it here, and it's going to be num2. So I have got the values of num1 and num2 from the user. Then what we are going to do is we will call the function. So we can call the function in multiple ways. The first way is that we can call the function in printf statement. So I can write some percentage d and percentage d percentage d. So this is the normal printf statement that we have discussed many times in different examples. So sum of percentage d and percentage d is num1, num2, and now we are going to call the function. So the function is addition. I am going to write the name of the function, and in the bracket I have to pass the value. So the value is num1 and num2. I want to find the sum of num1 and num2. And now I will call the values num1 and num2. So what will happen? The function will be called and num1 will be assigned to A. The value of num1 will be assigned to A and the value of num2 will be assigned to B. This function will be called, sum will be calculated, and the sum will be returned to the main function. So let's say when we run the program, we'll see an output in which the first message has been printed, enter a number. I have entered 12, then 5, and the output is sum of 12 and 5 is 17. So you also must have noticed one thing here, that the program's execution always start with main function. No matter whatever you have written before main function, it will always start the execution from the main function. Okay. So this addition function will be only called when it will be called in the main function. Otherwise, it is useless. If I haven't used this function, let's suppose I'm going to cut it from here. If I have not used this function, nothing will happen. You will see nothing as input. You will not see output. The program will run in a normal way, but the output is wrong because we haven't mentioned the function or the variable for third percentage d printer. So the first way to call a function is to call it in a printf function, or you can also create a variable in sum is equal to addition num1 num2, and now you can print the value of sum here. So now when you will run this program, it will do the same thing that was done in the previous execution. So 12, 5, the output is same, 17. So there are multiple ways to run a program. If you have created a return type of float, now you can see the error has occurred because it is not matching the Now the error has removed. Can also do note here and note here to get the exact value, and note for this. Just so yeah, similarly percentage f. So these are the things that you take care of because you can cause error, logical error sometimes. The output might be wrong. So now when you will run the program, the let's see the output 12.7, 9.1. The output is sum of 12.7 and 9.1 is 21.7. So this is how you can perform this program. So now the only reason to do this is because we can also specify return type as float. We can also specify int with main, but in that case we have to return 0 at the end. Okay, so main can also contain int instead of void, but in that case at the end of the main function we have to return 0 because it does not return anything. So void and void, returning nothing and return 0 are the same thing in C language. So today we have learned how to, in this video we have learned how to create a function and how to call that function in a main function. I hope that you have understood the concept. We will be discussing different examples in the upcoming videos. And if you have any question related to this video or any topic related to C language, you can ask me in the comment section. I will let you know. And please subscribe the channel.